Stadium in Gothenburg in front of a capacity 50,000 crowd and featuring no less than 4 world champions. From Britain, our own Peter Collins, the defending champion. For Collins, who'd been in hospital nursing an injured leg all week, it was the final showdown. Would the leg stand up to the rigours of 5 gruelling races? From New Zealand, 4 times champion Ivan Major, bidding to join the legendary Swede Ove Fundin with 5 world titles. From Sweden, Anders Michanek, the winner in '74. But he, like Collins, is suffering from a serious leg injury and has missed practice all week. And from Denmark, Ole Olsen, world champion in '71 and '75. The British champion, Michael Lee, at 18, the youngest man ever to ride in a world final. And, of course, our other British challenger, he's here too. And many tip him as a future world champion. We join the action at the start of Heat 5 with Egan Muller, Ivan Major, Billy Sanders and Peter Collins having won the first 4 races. Dave Lanning, as usual, is our commentator, and he's joined by 4 times world champion Barry Briggs.
Heat number 5, and this one really looks like being something a bit special because we have got Egan Muller, a tremendous winner first time out in the blue helmet colour. There in the white helmet colour we've got Anders Michanek, second place, settled down pretty well in his first ride, the Swedish #1 and white hope of this Ullevi crowd. We've also got Ole Olsen on the outside from Denmark. Made a bit of a muck-up of his first ride, 2 points only. He'll be looking for a win, so a real crunch battle in heat number 5 coming up. On the inside, it's Sweden's Bent Janssen. He scored 1 point first time out. Muller from West Germany in grid 2, a winner in his first ride. There's Egan Muller in the blue helmet colour, grid number 2. In grid number 3, we have Anders Michanek, the top Swede. He has 2 points from his first start. And on the outside, it's Ole Olsen. And Olsen it is who's turned back, and he really is trying to con the boys. He's turned back round. Now he's coming back into line. And you can see that Michanek is not to be fooled. He's turned back and gone round with him, so the lads are settling down a little bit nicely now. Back into line for heat number 5. On the inside then, Janssen. On the outside there, Olsen playing around. Olsen on the outside. Janssen is on the inside. In grid 2, it's Muller. In grid 3, it is Michanek. A crunch battle, heat 5. And a very, very even break, and it's Muller again who gets away, and Olsen switches back inside him. Michanek got chopped to pieces on the first corner, but Muller again made one of his special starts, and he's leading Ole Olsen, the hot anti-pose favourite for this title. He's already dropped 1 point, and now Olsen going after Muller, and now the battle is really on. There he goes. Olsen goes powering under. Muller, he doesn't quite make it, he didn't quite collect him, and he comes back under him again, and Muller's held him off, and he really is riding quite beautifully. Once again around the bottom corner, and Olsen again tries the inside run, but now Muller with his super fast bikes is pulling away from West Germany. In third place, way, way back now, it's Bent Janssen. Michanek's out of contention and seemingly out of the World Championship chase. And perhaps we are seeing a surprise new champion, certainly a rider they're all going to have to beat. This is Egan Muller up front. Olsen chasing hard. He's into the last lap. 400 metres to go, and Olsen's got to pull it all out now, but Muller is holding him back. There's, 1, 2, 3 bike lengths. Michanek's pulled out. There's Mitch. Out of contention, surely out of the title chase on the last lap. The last 2 corners, and Olsen tries the outside run. He switches back, and he's going to do him on the inside in the most magnificent style. That really was an Olsen special, that last corner. He went outside, he came back inside, he fooled Muller, he won there absolutely beautifully. That really was super Speedway. Well, Barry, let's just have another look at that exciting last corner from Olsen.
Well, they'll coming to the last corner. We got Ollie trying on the outside again. He's got Muller's looking over, he can see him. Muller's drifted him. Ollie's now turned back, and he's got up the inside, and he's got the drop on Egan. He's drifting towards the fence, and Ole Olsen, what a colossal pass that was, and he got Muller in the dying seconds of the race. A great race by Olsen.
Well, there we have plucky Peter Collins. The word is that after his first ride, he suffered all kinds of aggravation in the pits. He's agreed to come out for his second ride. Well, he really looks as though he's feeling the pain a bit. Remember, of course, had 30 stitches, the left leg. There's the boot there. You can see a special boot made in Northampton for him. It's a size larger. Normally, it's a size 7. That's a size 8. It's got special straps. And a very special boot delivered only this morning to Peter Collins to enable him to ride at least fairly comfortably in this world final. So let's see how poor old Pete Collins can do. He really was reported to be in some pain after his first start. This is his second start. He's on the inside. Next to him, the Pole Jan Mucko. In grid 3, it's Australia's Johnny Bolger, and on the outside, another pole, Edward Yankart's heat number 6. All eyes on Peter Collins, and again, he's got away quickly. He's away on the inside. In second place, it is Bolger. In third place, the rider in blue is Jan Mucko. But Pete Collins, well, we're used to seeing him coming from the back in the most spectacular style. He's made 2 absolutely superb starts here, and they really do count when he's feeling the pain and the pace like he must be. It must be agony out there for him. He's missed the corner. He really is far from his usual self. Peter Collins, you can see the distances there. And Barry, look at Peter. He really isn't anything like his normal self, is he?
There's a couple of bumps going into the corner, especially the corner after start where we see Peter going in now. He's going in with a dead throttle. He's missing the corner. That particular one, he went in much slower. He's staying on the line. His only chance is to make the start, but I think he's going to be in trouble against the really fast riders.
Well, Pete Collins, he definitely is hanging on. Definitely hanging on. Remember, he's been in hospital all week. It's no build-up. He's got a great big fighting North Country heart. No doubt at all. He wasn't going to give up his world crown without a battle, but he's almost cruising into the corners now. He's far, far, far from the normal PC. He's going to win it, but what price is he paying? A win for Collins. Second place was Bolger. In third place, it was Yankart. But Peter Collins, there he is there. He's almost stopped. He looks over his shoulder. He acknowledges, but he looks pretty dodgy. Number 8, England's Michael Lee looking for points. He had a second first time out. This young, brilliant whiz kid from King's Lynn up there in East Anglia. Great big TV Boppers idol. He's exactly 18 years, 264 days old, and that means he's the third youngest ever world finalist. The other 2 riders, incidentally, for old-time fans, were Ronnie Moore of New Zealand and Brian Crutcher of England back in 1953. So Michael Lee in heat number 8, carrying a great tradition. On the inside, his opposition comes from Tommy Nilsson from Sweden. Garner Wasp from the Swedish League, Coventry Bees in the British League, Wasp and Bees for Nilsson. In grid 2, it's Jan Werner from Czechoslovakia. Grid 3, Bernie Persson in the white helmet colour. And on the outside, the lanky but most effective figure of teenager Michael Lee from King's Lynn and England. This is heat number 8, and Persson must wait until the things go up. Well, and Lee's getting jumped in. He's missed the start. And it's the rider on the inside there, Nilsson, who leads it. Nilsson and Lee gets a rough ride around that first corner, going around the outside of both Werner and of Persson, and now chasing after Nilsson. Lee really had a real rough time, and he's chasing hard. He's got a great big battling heart, this young man from the East Country. He's going up around the outside of Nilsson, and Lee fighting and battling and going through on the outside of Nilsson. They're battling up front, but it's going to be Michael Lee, I'm sure, who pulls clear, and that really was a brave ride from this young man. He got conned at the start. He got knocked and pushed at the first corner by these 2 wily Swedes, but he battled on. He came through. He's up front now, and Michael Lee is really giving the English fans, there's a lot of them here, about 5,000 I should think, something really to raise on the roof about. Tremendous ride here in heat number 8. Mike Lee has 2 points from his first start. This win, if he holds on for another 400 metres, will pick him up. Certainly still within a say of this title in 1977. A British champion, they said he was a bit young to win the British title at Coventry, but he won that. They said he was a bit young, perhaps, to win the world title, but who knows after that one. 3 points for Lee, 2 for Nilsson, 1 for Persson in third place, and a really most encouraging and impressive ride from Michael Lee. Courageous too.
See the start here, Michael Lee on the outside, tries to anticipate the start, he's a little behind, he starts pulling down, but Nilsson on the inside moves him over a little, pushes him really wide here, he's in right up against the boards. Persson slips up the inside, but watch Lee, he comes out there on the outside, coming out, we've got a beautiful run out of this corner, and a thoroughly deserved win by Michael Lee.
Well, there's Peter Collins, and he looks confident enough, but pensive perhaps. Pete Collins, he leads unbeaten, the only unbeaten rider after 2 starts. Then we have a whole list of guys on 5 points apiece. Egon Muller, Finn Thompson, Ivan Major, Ole Olsen, and very encouraging for the English fans, Michael Lee in there with a chance on 5 points. Very interesting. 2 rides each. That's the situation at the top. Heat number 9 of the 1977 World Championship final, an important one with 3 very high-scoring riders in contention. There is one of them, Michael Lee, the teenager from England and Kings Lynn. He has 5 points, a win and a 2nd place, so very much still in the same in this first World Championship final. Poland's Edward Jankarts is on the inside. He's in the red helmet. Lee on 5 points. Muller from West Germany, he's on 5 points. And Billy Sanders from Australia and Ipswich on the outside on 4 points. That's after 2 rides, remember. They have 5 rides each. So we have 3 riders here very much still with their eyes on that World Championship crown. Any one of these 3 could still win it. So heat number 9 looks like being a bundle of fireworks. I think their time to settle down. It's Mike Lee. He was just killing a little bit on his last start. He's not too anxious to get up into line and start his orders. Mike Lee is in grid 2 in the blue helmet, kind of tall figure. As Egon Muller, this jet-propelled starter from West Germany, rather, in grid 3. Let's see the start. And Muller missed the start. It's Lee and it's Sanders that get away. Billy Sanders leads. Sanders is in front. Lee is 2nd. In 3rd place, it was Jankarts, and Muller has missed the start, and Muller is at the back. And the battle is on between the 2 East Anglian-based British League riders. Billy Sanders leads it. In 2nd place, it is Michael Lee, and Michael Lee going through on the inside and pushing him over in absolutely no-nonsense style. Well, Mike Lee really means business here at Ullevi. It's his first world final. He's won a race, and it looks like he's going to win this one. Tremendous stuff. Billy Sanders in the yellow helmet is in 2nd place. Egon Muller missed the start there, and this is perhaps what we feared about this little West German. If he doesn't start, he isn't too keen to mix it from the back, but he's way at the back in heat number 9, and surely his dreams of that world crown on shell have gone tonight. But what about this young man? Michael Lee, 18 years old, remember, in his first world final, and he could win it. He really is going strong. Look at that lead he's built up. Remember, he's in against Sanders and Muller, 2 of his main rivals before this race, but he has beaten them in no uncertain fashion. Lee wins it. 2nd place Sanders. 3rd place was Jankarts. Muller at the back. But they're all about and talking about Michael Lee. That really was a most tremendous move. Well, there's not very much doubt about who they're supporting. Collins and Lee forever, and the English boys doing them proud so far. Heat number 11, and something really has got to give here, because we have got the 2 flying Danes, Ole Olsen and Finn Thompson. They're both on 5 points. Here's Olsen now on his 2nd 4-valve Java. He's swapped machinery, having had a little bit of bother collecting his points in his first 2 rides. Really had to pull out all the stops to beat Egon Muller. Peter Collins is the rider in yellow, the yellow helmet colour on the outside. Brave, plucky Peter. He's unbeaten, the only unbeaten rider after 2 starts, but really he has the crunch coming up now shortly, because he's got the 2 big-time Danes on the inside of him. He's got Olsen in blue in grid 2. He's got Finn Thompson, and he really has been a surprise packer of this year's World Championship. He is in grid 3 in the white helmet colour. And we've got on the inside Jan Werner from Czechoslovakia. No score so far, and obviously out of contention. So it's the grids 2, 3 and 4 to watch for as Collins bids to hold on to his crown, and this time he really has got some hot opposition. He's got Olsen in grid 2. He's got Thompson in grid 3. He's got Jan Werner inside. They're settling down for heat number 11, and Collins again has got a good start from the outside. Collins gets away from the outside. He leads it. Olsen is 2nd. Thompson was left, and Peter Collins is riding with all his great big North Country heart as Olsen comes tearing after him in the rain at Ullevi. This is heat 11. The battle really on, and can Peter Collins possibly hold on with Olsen roaring up on the inside of him and shoving him over out of the way? The Danes are going mad, and Collins is in trouble on the outside there, and Olsen goes powering through there. Well, he made it look easy, but it must be said that we wonder if Olsen would have done it if Collins was 100% fit. The Danes are loving it. Collins is back in 2nd place and losing ground visibly. In 3rd place is Thompson, with Ole Olsen on his 2nd 4-valve Jawa, looking a lot more like the old Ullevi Golly we have seen before. Collins is dropping back further and further and looking very unhappy, and he's almost got Thompson on his tail now too. Olsen goes sailing through. He's lost his helmet colour. He's up front. There's Collins a long way back, battling, struggling, fighting. We knew we'd get this from him, a really gritty performance, but his injury's really telling. Olsen goes across the line, and listen to the Danes. Collins holds on in second place. Third place was Thompson, and that one could have a vital bearing on this 1977 World Championship final.
Watch it out of the start again on the outside nearest to us. We see Peter Collins. He looks fractionally behind, but as he goes to the first corner, he's pulling a good gap, and now he closes the gap right down on the inside going into the corner. Olsen is back in third. He slips under Thompson, but Peter's made such a good start. He rides a very, very strong first corner, but unfortunately I think that he tired off and give Olsen the initiative later in the race.
So we have got quite a race coming up in heat number 13. We've got on the inside Ivan Major, a co-leader. Then we've got Bernd Persson in grid 2. We've got Peter Collins in grid 3 on 8 points, and Egon Müller, this very fast starter from West Germany, he'll be on the outside. There is Major on the inside, really one of the cleverest and wisest campaigners in the world of Speedway, bidding for his 5th world title. He's on the inside. Then Persson, Collins in grid 3, and on the outside Müller. So this one, a most important one for Pete Collins, as they once again take some time settling down. Heat number 13, getting back, and the starters orders are away this time, and Collins has been left. It is Major who gets away first. Major gets away first. Somebody has gone down, and it's getting very, very tight as around the outside it is Collins in front for England, and the race has been stopped. It's Müller that's gone down. The race has been stopped. Müller is the one that went down. Referee Tor Kittelson has stopped that one. There is Müller, not quite knowing what hit him. Let's have a very quick look at this one, Barry Briggs.
You see Müller right on the outside of the picture here, going in the first corner. Collins hits him a little bit, just sits him there. The helmet cover comes off. Major's up the inside. Müller's going wider and wider, and he's got nothing else to do but to lay it down right against the fence, and it's going to be a rerun start.
Well, what is going on with Peter Collins? He seems to have a tissue. We've got John Berry, the England team manager, the tall figure on the right, and Peter Collins really looks like he's doing an impression of the Sheikh of Araby. I think he's just probably trying to suck up some of the moisture. You can see how tenderly he treads. Pete Collins, Barry Briggs, whatever can Peter be doing with that bit of tissue? Just cleaning his visor.
It's obviously raining out there, Dave, and he's trying to keep the visor clear, and he's walking, I would think, to get the circulation moving. He had a bit of bad luck there to be leading and have to have a rerun, so we can see what happens in the rerun.
Well, there's Major, number 7. I wonder if it's lucky 7. Certainly, fortune has favoured him so far because he had been picked off before that race was stopped. And remember, of course, he got through in the Intercontinental qualifying just a couple of weeks ago on a referee's decision as well. At least it was a pretty controversial one. So you can see the rain coming down quite heavily now. The restart of heat 13. Can Collins do it again? Can he get round the outside? Or will Major make one of his old-style rocket starts and sew up heat number 13 right from the starting tapes? Heat number 13, Major and Collins. Persson between the pair of them isn't allowed to be fooled around with, and they're waiting for Major, and the crowd don't like it. They know he really is a wily old customer. Heat number 13, such a vital start. Major, Persson, Collins, and away this time. And once again, it looks like Major. Major has got away from the inside. Collins goes very, very wide, but he's not going to get round him this time. He's going after him. Major leads it. Collins is in second place. Persson is in third. And this is what we rather expected. Ivan Major, a master at restarts. He doesn't play around. Collins bucking and wheeling and dicing after him, but Major is out in front. He's bidding for his 5th World Championship win. Well, the luck really has favoured him tonight. It must be said that he was well beaten when the race was stopped. Collins is chasing hard after him. Major goes across until lap 3, taking his goggles off. Collins is back, and that injury handicap is just proving too much for Peter Collins. Major a long, long way in front now. He's going to win heat number 13 by the length of a street, providing everything keeps firing for the last 400 metres. Collins is in second place, and he really has almost slowed to a cruise now, Collins. Persson's a long way back. This is Major, great world finalist. He's ridden in 12. He's never scored less than double figures. He's won the title 4 times, and that's 3 more points towards perhaps his 5th and record 5th. Collins is second, Persson is third, and Ivan Major the old stager, going strong. So heat number 15 coming up under starters orders, an important one for Michael Lee from England on the inside. He has 8 points, co-leader after 3 starts. Next to him, the Danish youngster Finn Thompson. Jan Mucke in grid 3 with 1 point so far, and on the outside, Anders Michanek from Sweden. Michael Lee then co-leader, really has been the sensation of this world final. It's his first one, remember. He's only 18, he's got the inside here. He'll be looking for 3 points to really stay in touch. He knows that Ivan Major already has 11 points. He's just won his race just a moment or so back. So Lee needs a win here to stay up top. He's on the inside. The grids, it would seem, have favoured the inside run. It's getting very wet. You can see there quite clearly just how mucky and muddy it is. It really is a bit of a quagmire there. And if you don't get away quickly, you really have to battle hard here at Ullevi. Heat 15, an important one for Michael Lee, settling down. They're trying, and it's Finn Thompson who says, move over a bit, Mike. You're on the outside, but he's in his position there quite clearly. He's allowed to stay wherever he likes as long as he's inside the white line there of the grid, and he seems to me to be perfectly situated. And Thompson says move over. Barry Briggs, is Michael Lee infringing any rules?
From here it doesn't look like, Dave, but Thompson's obviously trying to work the psychological on, and looks so Michael's going to be moved back, but if I was Michael, I was sitting the ground.
Well, tensions are building up, and Thompson is the man who's causing it. He says his arm's sticking out into my grid, and Michael Lee's, well, turning around, going back into line. Let's see if Master Thompson in grid 2 is happy now. So now it's Michael Lee trying a bit of kidology. He settles down, but one wonders if he's that imperturbable. Let's see. Now Thompson's going back, and he's doing it, and really this is getting to be a bit of a comedy show. It really isn't on at all. And if they're trying to disconcert young Michael Lee, it really is a pretty bad example of gamesmanship. Let's see. And it hasn't really bothered him too much, because he's in second place there. It's Michanek who leads it. Michanek in front. Lee is in second place. And the old wily campaigner of Gothenburg, while all the fun and games was going on, Michanek sat over there composed on the outside, and he got away an absolutely cracking start. And while the two young men were glaring at each other, in fact, it was Thompson who really caused all the trouble, it must be said, in fairness to Lee. And that really is a little bit disappointing for Michael Lee, because there's no question at all. He looks unsettled. He's in second place. Michanek's in front. Lee's a long way back. He's not going to catch him now. It's very wet and sticky out there, and he's dropping back further and further. We've lost Jan Mucke in this race. He's stopped, and this is going to be a bitter disappointment for Mike Lee. Michanek goes over the line for the last lap. Lee is in second place. Thompson, who caused all the fuss and bother, is a long way back, and all he does appear to have succeeded in doing is giving Anders Michanek the sort of leg up he needed in heat number 15. Michanek's going to win it. Listen to the Swedes salute that one. 2 points for Lee, 1 for Thompson. Well, Michanek's form coming a little late perhaps for him. Michael Lee must be feeling a little bit sick, and I think he might have some rather unkind thoughts directed towards Finn Thompson there. Heat number 16 with Ole Olsen, the man to watch on the inside on 8 points. He must win this one to get back on level terms with Ivan Major at the top. Next to him we have the Pole Yankarts. In grid 3 it's Tommy Nilsson, and on the outside Juri Stansel. So Olsen perhaps without the hottest of opposition in heat number 16. And from the inside grid it is Olsen who gets to the corner first. Olsen leads it. In second place is Yankart. Through on the inside into second place comes Tommy Nilsson, but heat 16 now looks like being all about Ole Olsen. Well, this is his 7th World Final, Ole Olsen, bidding for his 3rd title, of course. He won the title for the 2nd time at Wembley in 1975, and indeed won here on this very track in Gothenburg in 1971. Last year, we recall, he was a surprise non-qualifier from the Intercontinental final at Wembley. And indeed, he has bittersweet memories of this Ullevi circuit, because back in 1974, in his second ride, he crashed around about the second corner. Let's have a look as he goes through the corner. Just as he goes by on this second turn there, he crashed just about there, and there's a mark still on the fence. It's now a advertising hoarding for a Swedish evening newspaper. There's still the mark on the fence where Ollie hit it, but he's hitting the news in a different way tonight. 3 more points. Second place was Nilsson, and third place was Jankart. So Ollie Olsen still very much in touch with the 1977 world title. 4 races completed for each rider, 1 to go, and a very tasty situation here at Gothenburg for the 1977 World Championship. Now clearly in the lead, the veteran Kiwi Ivan Major and Ollie Olsen on 11 points apiece. Then the 2 Englishmen, Michael Lee and Peter Collins, 10 apiece. Anders Michanek from Sweden hopping up into the picture with 8 points. Finn Thompson from Denmark on 7. So too is Bent Janssen from Sweden. That's the situation. Major, Olsen and Lee all have to meet in their last ride. And here is that important heat number 18, the one that surely will decide who is to be the 1977 Speedway champion of the world. There's £1,500 on the end of this race. The world crown is worth something like £100,000 in perks for the next 12 months. We have Ivan Major, the old campaigner, bidding for his fifth crown. We have Ollie Olsen, who indeed he taught so many of the rudiments of Speedway back 10 years ago at Bellevue. Ollie Olsen from Denmark, and now Coventry Bees. He has 11 points, and just to make it a really spicy feast, we have young Michael Lee, the kid from Kings Lynn, on 10 points. And if Michael Lee wins this race, he could still be champion of the world. So what a race, what a lot we have in prospect. The rain coming down, what a tragedy that the rain may well spoil what should have been 4 of the most supersonic Speedway laps we're ever likely to see on ITV. It's very sticky. It's so important to get out of the gates, and that is the lineup at the gates. Olsen perhaps in the all-important inside grid. They have been definitely the most favourites of the last few races since the rain started to come down heavily. Olsen on the inside. Next to him, John Bolger from Australia. In grid 3, it's Major. On the outside, it's Lee. We hear from the pits that Olsen and Major have been avoiding each other like the plague. They haven't been looking at each other. The real psychology is starting. The most important race in World Speedway, surely in 1977, now just settling down. Let's watch this start. It could be so crucial. And it's Lee who tried the jump. And what's happened there? Well, the nerves, the tension are even playing on the referee, Tor Kittleson.
You can see that. Kittleson, the steward, let them bump the tapes, and then as they come back, he tried to catch the riders, but it wasn't clear of Olsen's helmet, and he's had nothing but to restart the race again.
So here we go again for the rerun of the most important race in World Speedway in 1977. Barry Briggs, any predictions?
I think you'd have to favour Ollie a little bit, because he's got what I think now is the best starting gate, number 1, but Major is such a great starter when under pressure like this. But what a thing if Michael made us start off number 4.
So here we go again. We find another nail to bite. We find something pretty solid to hold on to, and we hope and keep our fingers crossed that we're going to get heat number 18 away for the second time of asking. The drama starts to build up. The real tension out there is quite murderous. There's Ivan Major. I'm sure he's probably the coolest customer in the stadium. He's seen it all before. There's the lineup again. On the inside, it is Olsen. Next to him, it is Bolger. In grid 3, it is Ivan Major, and on the outside, it is Michael Lee. Here we go, heat number 18, settling down, and they're away this time, and indeed it's Bolger who got out in front. Bolger who leads it. Bolger, the one probably reckoned on at all, and this is incredible. John Bolger is in front. Olsen is crucially in second place, and down goes Bolger, and down goes Olsen, and Major is keeping going, and this is a sensation, the like of which we have not seen in World Speedway. He stopped it. The race has been stopped. stopped. Michael Lee's throttle is jammed open just under our commentary position. Here it is again. Let's see what happens. Bolger is leading it into corner 3. He goes down. Look at the track there. Olsen gets off. Bells out quickly to try and avoid him. Major comes through. We're going to have a restart, and we wonder when the drama's going to end. So for the third time of asking, this crucial race at World Speedway, now only 3 starters. Olsen on a spare bike on the inside, Major in the white helmet in grid 3, and we have Michael Lee also on a spare bike on the outside in yellow and black. Remember, any one of these 3 riders can win the World Championship. They're coming up under starters' orders. The crowd are on their feet. Here we go, third time of asking, and this time it's Major who makes the start. Battling around the outside of Olsen, and Lee's moved up into second place, but it looks like it's going to be the galloping Major's night. Twice the race has been stopped when he's behind, but now he's in front, and I don't think he's going to make any mistakes at all. Lee's in second place, and really experience is telling for Ivan Major. He was behind earlier on, the race was stopped. He was in third place in this race, the race was stopped. Really, it's his lucky night, but who are we to begrudge him his 5th World Crown, which equals the record of Ullevi here to present the prizes this evening, and Major now is just a little bit over a lap from glory. A night of drama, a night surely of sensations, but what a night for Ivan Major. He's over the line into the last lap. He's just got to keep going for another, 380 metres. He looks over his shoulder. He's going to win it. Well, he squeezed through the Intercontinental final. He really had a fair old night, and there he goes over the line. Major wins the title for the 5th time. He is second. Olsen's a long way back third. And will we ever have a night like this again in World Speedway? In fact, Lee and Olsen now must run off for the runners-up position. Ivan Major is triumphant. An enormous crowd in the pits. Just look at that delight. I know he wanted to win this one so very, very badly. He's had controversy along the way. He's had a lot of luck along the way. But there he goes up in the air. And never mind the controversy, never mind the luck. He must be the happiest man in World Speedway right now.
And confirmation there of the result of the World Speedway Championship. First, Ivan Major, New Zealand and Exeter on 14 points, and he equals the record of 5 world titles held by Ove Fundin of Sweden. Second, in courageous style, Peter Collins of England and Bellevue on 13 points. Third, Ollie Olsen of Denmark and Coventry on 12 points after a run-off with the 4th man, Michael Lee of England and Kings Lynn on 12 points. And 5th, Finn Thompson of Denmark and Wolves.